Okay, this is day 143, and we've been talking a lot about DEA numbers. And I thought, well, why don't I just do a section on that? I realize it's background, but there's an interesting way of validating DEA numbers, and it's called odds, evens, and check. So you basically add the odds, you add the evens, and then take those two numbers together and see the last digit. The last digit's your check digit, and then you compare it with the seventh digit. So you add the three odds, you add the three evens, you add them together, those two together, you add odds and evens together. So first, third, and fifth digit, second, fourth, and sixth digit, add those together. Whatever the result is, you see if it checks with a check digit. So there's still a 1 in 10 chance you could be getting a phony number, but it reduces the phonies by a lot. So that you can read this later if you want more of that. But here's the numbers, and they've gone through several iterations. A is not used much anymore. B is the hospital and clinic, and C is the practitioner. D they added for teaching and institution. E manufacturer. F distributor. Okay, so you can see they've kept adding these things, and this is where I believe the fraud creeps in. You know, with the importer exporter allowed to have large amounts, as well as back here when you're a clinic. If you're an animal hospital, turns out you're allowed to have tremendous amounts of the animal product over a normal freestanding health clinic for humans for obvious reasons. You say, hey, I'm a horse doctor, I'm a cow doctor, I'm a whatever doctor. These animals are huge. These Clydesdales are, 5,000 pounds. They need more medicine. So this is the animal pharma, the Awan Brothers Animal Pharma. I don't know how it could be more obvious. We've said that probably for a year, but we're going to be looking at those B licenses. But here, analytical labs and so forth, reverse distributor, whatever that is, that scares the heck out of me. And then you can see these things that have been added later, which is the M level. This is the physician's assistant and the practitioner, the nurse practitioner. And I've known a lot of nurse practitioners that were just cops, retired cops, and they're prescribing antipsychotic drugs for kids in these rural areas because there's no physicians around. And I'm like, what? No. You need to go to med school. You need to go to an internship. You need to be a resident. Then you need to do quarterly, at least, continuing education about drug interaction. No, retired cops should not be prescribing antipsychotic drugs to kids in rural areas. Basically, that's a way of taking a JTTF hate list and basically tagging a whole bunch of kids with the psychotic label or whatever label that is. And then there's what I call the PTSD letters. It's actually PRST for these narcotic treatment programs. And I thought, this is going to be the area. This is going to be the area, the PTSD loophole, I call it. This is going to be the area where you're going to get in the fakes. This is going to be the fakes, right? And then, of course, you've got you now. So you've got 5 of these treatment programs. This is going to be the pathway. And literally, it is going to be the PTSD pathway from our story. That's what I love about stories like the Wong story. You just pull out, and it leads you directly to the loophole. I love it. It leads you directly to the pathway. They even call it PTSD pathway. They even give you the answer. I love it when they do this. And then here is Suboxone. There's the X. And you notice, I said that in the last thing, there's the W. There's the W was Rizvi's license. There's no such thing as a W. And if you remember back when I did the thing on Wong, here's his substance license, FW. That's second. So FW is, okay, that's Wong for his last name should be Wong. And then F. So we go back to looking at what the F is. And that means he is going to be a distributor. Okay, he's a distributor. What is Wong doing with an F license? Why does Wong, the guy on PTSD, supposedly down here in one of these programs, getting a P, an R, or S, or a T, or a U, or an X, right? He's supposed to be receiving these drugs as treatment. And why is he a distributor? Why is he a distributor? We're going to look at Lambert's license. We're going to look at Omar Awan's license. We're going to look at Rizvi's license. We're going to look at all the DEA licenses now and just compare them against this chart and see what the heck is going on. Why are these people on PTSD? Is this really a PTSD pathway for the backbone the Sinaloa backbone or the Pakistani ISI backbone for distributing drugs from Rahm Emanuel's opium fields in the United States.